Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this doesn't work, so let's get open for business this morning. On this morning's edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys because things happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning. So you want to be up to speed with all that is the Dallas Cowboys and the soap opera that is. And as the Dallas Cowboys world turns, we have some good news. We got DeMarcus Lawrence will be playing tomorrow, 1 day, 8 hours, 36 minutes, and 40 seconds from now against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was reported that he has a torn labrum, which is in his shoulders. And basically, it's the cartilage that's in the joint of your socket here. He's been playing on it for that like 2 years now. So it's nothing new. It's one of those things that can be really, really painful and so forth. They can end up doing medication, they do treatment. Ultimately, the best thing is they go in and do surgery, clean it out. But it's something he's been dealing with for a while, but he will be playing this weekend. But understand, when you play in football, you're always got nagging injuries. And there's a difference between being hurt and being injured because, you got a sore neck. I remember having a stinger where my arm would just go numb and playing with it in college and stuff, or playing on a knee with no ACL like I did. But in the pros, it's even exacerbated even more because week in and week out, these guys are warriors. The things they do to stay on the field are inhuman. They're unimaginable. Between the painkillers, between the rehab. I remember what I hated for my knee was 6 a.m. ice whirlpools. To make it worse, you get in an ice whirlpool for my leg at 6 a.m. for 10 minutes. You go from an ice whirlpool to a hot whirlpool for 5 minutes. So you go from being frozen to burning up and then back to the ice whirlpool. And I would do that for 30 minutes back and forth. And it was great. It helped my knee, helped me make it through and survive. But it was one of those things that you hated doing, but you had to do. These guys are doing acupuncture. They're doing painkillers. They're doing shots. All this for our entertainment and our enjoyment. So hats off to all NFL players for everything they do to stay on the field. And speaking of pain, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. The number one rated defense. And I know you guys are like, with our offense, damn, that's going to hurt. But I'm going to give you some hope today. And you're like, yeah, you're delusional. But here's the thing about Jacksonville. They are the number one ranked defense. Number one pass defense. Their running defense, not quite so much. They're 14th, averaging 4 yards a carry giving up 101 yards on the ground. And I know you're thinking, well, that isn't exactly great. Okay, so they're not as good as the Texans were on the ground. Yes, it's true. But let's think about this now. Number one ranked. This is one of those times that I tell you about statistics. Statistics you can prove a lot of different things with. I want you to understand that that defense is ranked number one against these 5 teams that they've played. The New York Giants, the New England Patriots, the Titans, the Jets, and Kansas City. And I know you're going to go, whoa, wait a minute. The Patriots, they lead their division. The Titans, they're leading their division. And Kansas City, they're leading their division. Mark, you're crazy. You're talking about they had 3 games against 3 of the best teams in football right now. Yes, but hold on for a second. You remember we played the New York Giants. The Giants, with the 24th rated offense, they're actually getting some yardage and stuff out there. But it's still ranked 24th. They gave it 15 points to the Giants. Against the Patriots, they gave up 20 points to New England. And this is when New England was in a slump. But believe it or not, New England's offense is only rated 22nd in the NFL in yardage. Let me say it again. So you got the New York Giants at 24. You got New England only at 22. And they're not exactly a running team. Think about that now. And New England, this is when New England started out 1-3. And everybody said, oh my God, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, they've lost it. No chemistry anymore. Belichick's trying to ruin the team. Yeah. Titans, 29th in offense. 29th. The Jets, 26th in offense. So let's back up here. Now, Kansas City, that's a different story. Kansas City is 5th in offense. Kansas City, Mahomes is playing on a whole different level than what we are. And I know, first thing I'm going to say, yeah, well, our offense is in the middle of all that as well. Yes, it is. But understand, Kansas City ended up scoring 30 points with that 5th-rated offense. So here's the thing. They're not as good on the run. And clearly, when you look at 24th, 22nd, 29th, 26th rated offenses, the only one of these teams that are actually run heavy are the New York Giants. So the fact that you're giving up 100 yards rushing to a New England, a Titans, a Jets, and a Kansas City kind of lets you know that when you get a premier back, the NFL leading rusher, in a Zeke Elliott, you may be able to do some damage. But you've got to understand that we cannot just do the same old, just running up the middle. You've got my brother from another mother, Calais Campbell, the 6'8" giant that is Calais Campbell, the guy that I kept pounding in your head the same way about Earl Thomas, about Calais Campbell being a difference maker for our defense, a guy that I wished and prayed was here on our defensive line. You got that guy that moves around a bit on that defense. So you can't just go ahead and say we're going to man up and we're going to take our offensive line, the number 1 ranked offensive line, and just run straight ahead. You're going to have to get a little more creative. You're going to have to do some more things to get Zeke out in space. Because here's the thing with Zeke. Zeke, after contact, has been averaging 3.3 yards, highest in the NFL since he's been in the league. But you need to get him some space. You need to get him going a couple steps before he's getting somebody on him. And you're needing to use some play action. Because once you start getting the defense used to having to try and stop him, that's when you can start doing the play action. Now, a little more hope that we may have is Jalen Ramsey is now on the injured list, dealing with a knee injury. Basically, he's 50-50. They don't have him, that's going to kind of open up things a little bit more. Now, granted, this may be an ugly, ugly game. This may be like a throwback to Baltimore Steelers back when both teams had great defenses, because I believe our defense can come to play as well. But we also need some guys to step on that defensive line up, like DeMarcus Lawrence, to help get other people free. But I look at our offense, and our offense can match up well with them, provided we don't just keep trying to run the same play. Use some counter plays. Use some sweeps outside. Start moving the ball around in that running game. Run pass options. You have got to open up the playbook because it's do or die. I don't want to say that this is a must-win situation game. Because it's the AFC versus an NFC team, it's not weighted the same. However, you see Philadelphia get a little momentum beating the Giants. And I know the Giants have already got the golf clubs in the trunks. They are ready for the offseason. They're ready for some changes. They're going to be looking at a high draft pick, and maybe they go for a quarterback to replace Eli Manning. They're done. Eagles have some new life. The Redskins, who play the Panthers, they are still right there. We need this game, and we've played better at home. So the experts are going to all say Cowboys got no chance whatsoever. I believe if they play the running game and we eliminate some of the mistakes, the false starts, the brain fart penalties that screw up drives, if we can play a little bit better, my 5% rule, if everybody plays 5% better, 5%, that's wide receivers in their routes and catching the ball. Dak Prescott on his accuracy. Offensive line, blocking and keeping the penalties down. Zeke Elliott running with a little bit more authority. I think he was a little banged up last week. This week, maybe not so much. I think we have a good chance to get a win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe I'm crazy, and it wouldn't be the first time people have said that. But if they do those things, they've got a good chance. And again, they're going to sell you on number one defense, but look at the competition that defense has faced. I'm not saying they're not great, because they are. But it's not like they've been playing top 10 offenses every week. They've only played one. So there it is, guys. That's my hope for today. I've got to go down the country and get this place ready for the tenants to move in and stuff. And I'll be back tonight. And then tomorrow, of course, we'll be live streaming the game. And that's all I got for you right now. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo. And thank you for being part of the Joe Boo Sports.